This guy says the horse can do. If he says the horse can do, can do.
Welcome to Odds and Ends, and I'm your host, Mike Tice. NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. Are you kidding me? 6 games in 2 days, 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and you know what? I'm going to pick all 6 games for you. The Pack and the Chiefs have earned byes. Only one bye this year, but there's 14 teams in the playoffs. I'm going to rank all 14 playoff teams for you. Start with the Chiefs, number 1. Go to the Saints, number 2. The Bills, number 3. The Packers, number 4. The Ravens coming on, number 5. The Bucks, red hot on offense, number 6. The Steelers, number 7. 32nd in the league in rushing. The Seahawks, number 8. The Colts, number 9. The Rams, number 10. The Titans, number 11. If they had a better defense, they'd be higher. The Browns, number 12 with all the COVID, and number 13, the Washington football team, and number 14, bringing up the rear, the Chicago Bears. Hey, let me tell you, top 10 scoring O and scoring D, there's 5 teams that are in the top 10 in both. Scoring O and scoring D, that's the Chiefs, the Saints, the Bucks, the Ravens, and the Colts. 11 of 14 teams in the playoffs are in the top turnover differential in the league. The ones that are minus are the Rams at -3, the Bears at -4, and the Washington football team at -4. Remember that. Turnovers created. The Steelers have created 27 turnovers. That's the most in the league, with the Bills and the Saints, number 2, creating 26 turnovers. The Colts and the Bucks have created 25 turnovers. The Washington football team, the Titans, have created 23 turnovers. The Chiefs, the Rams, the Ravens, and the Seahawks have all created 22 turnovers this football season. Hey, top 10 in rushing and passing O. There's 2 teams that are in the top 10 of both, the Packers and the Colts. Top 10 passing and rushing defense, there are 3 teams, the Rams, the Saints, and the Ravens. Hey, let's pick some games, starting with the 105 Eastern Time game, the Colts at the Bills. The Bills will have fans. The weather's supposed to be 30 degrees. Last week I said it wasn't going to snow in Green Bay, and it did, and I had a few friends pissed off at me. But listen, injuries. DeForest Buckner is a little banged up, and Rock Ya-Sin, the cornerback starter for the Colts, are banged up. Stephon Diggs showed up on an injury report Wednesday with an oblique, and Cole Beasley, of course, got banged up a couple of weeks ago, and he's still on the injury report. The Bills, number 1 in third down conversion percentage, number 2 in scoring, and number 3 in passing offense. The Colts are in the top 10 in scoring O and scoring D. Don't forget that. Rookie Badger running back Jonathan Taylor, 1,169 yards and 11 touchdowns rushing. That's pretty damn good. Both teams are creating turnovers. The Bills have created 26. The Colts have created 25. But the Bills' defense is a much better defense with Matt Milano back from injury. The Colts are number 2 in turnover differential. I've said it 3 times. And number 2 in rush D. But I like the Bills, -6.5. If you want to go the other way, bet the over. Saturday, 4:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the Rams at the Seahawks. Wow, good game here. Injuries. Jared Goff has the thumb. The rest of the guys just have that 17-week injury, which means they feel like crap right now. Quarterback Russell Wilson versus the Rams D. That's what it comes down to. Both teams D, 22 turnovers created. Sacks, the Rams have created 53, and the Seahawks have created 46 sacks. The Hawks Red Zone TD percentage, really good, 73.21%. That's excellent. The Rams D, though, wow, number 1 in pass, number 3 in rush D, number 3 in third down percentage, and number 1 in scoring D, number 2 in sacks. But I like the Seahawks, -3.5 in this game, And if you want to go ahead the other way, bet the over, 42.5. Saturday, 8:15 p.m., the Bucks at the Washington football team. Hey, injuries. Mike Evans, wide receiver, has a knee. That's significant. Jason Pierre-Paul did not practice on Wednesday. He's got a knee. Thomas Davis, senior, he's about my age, about 50. He's got a knee for the Washington football team. It's the GOAT versus the Washington football team defense. Chase Young, woo, and Sweat on the other side for the Washington football team. The Bucks are in the top 10 in scoring O and D, number 2 in pass O, number 1 in rush D. Wow, that's pretty good. But they also have, it's kind of confusing. They're number 1 in rush D, but they've had the least amount of attempts against them. So go figure. It's all gross yardage. That's where you get the number from. They're number 3 in scoring O. Wow, that's good. Number 4 in sacks, they got 48. And number 6, as I said, in turnover differential, +8. The Washington football team D. Number 4 in scoring D. Number 2 in passing D. Number 6 in third down conversion percentage. And number 4 in red zone touchdown percentage. I got to go with the Washington football team getting 8.5 points. If you want to go the other way, go the under, 45. I'll be back in a minute with Sunday's games from NFL Super Wild Card Weekend.
If he says the horse can do.
Welcome back to Odds and Ends and Super Wild Card Weekend Sunday games. There's 3 games on Sunday, starting with the 1:05 Eastern Time, the Ravens at the Titans. Injuries for the Titans. Roger Saffold, offensive guard, didn't practice on Wednesday. Dennis Kelly, right tackle, didn't practice. For the Ravens, Willie Snead, the 4th wide receiver. DJ Fluker, he seems always to be hurt, right tackle. And Marion Humphrey, corner, all not practicing on Wednesday. Listen, the Ravens are top 10 in scoring O and scoring D. The Ravens have won 5 in a row, but only one of those wins have come against a team with a winning record. The Ravens are also top 5 in third down percentage conversions, offense and defense, and number 1, as we know, in rushing offense. The Titans are number 1 in the turnover differential, number 2 in rushing O, number 2 in red zone TD percentage, number 4 in scoring O. I'll tell you what, it's pretty simple. I like the over in this one, 54.5. That's a lot of points, I know, but if you want to pick the game, I'd pick the 4:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the Bears at the Saints. Injuries, all right? Darnell Mooney, wide receiver for the Bears. Raquan Smith, linebacker for the Bears, did not practice on Wednesday. The Saints are top 5 in scoring O and D. Only team in the league. The Saints are number 4 in turnover differential, number 6 in rush O, number 4 in rush D, number 5 in passing D, number 5 in red zone touchdown percentage, and number 4 in turnovers created at 26. The Bears are top 5 in red zone TD percentage. Man, this is an easy one. I like the Saints. Given 10. That's right, given 10. I just think the Saints are really good and might be the best team in the National Football League right now with so much talent. But if you want to go the other way, go the under, 47. 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, the Brownies. Oh, my God, COVID City for the Brownies at the Steelers. Well-rested Steelers. The head coach is down for the freaking Brownies. Injuries for the Steelers. Tyson Alulo, the defensive tackle, defensive end, it did not practice on Wednesday. Linebacker Vince Williams also. But the Brownies, the Steelers get back Eric Ebron, tight end, off the COVID list. For the Browns, special teams coach Mike Prefer will act as the head coach in that particular game. He did the same thing when he was with the Vikings when Mike Zimmer had the eye injury. Alex Van Pelt will call the plays. He's been heavily involved. Anyway, the Steelers, number 1 in sacks, number 4 in turnover differential, number 3 in scoring D, only giving up 19.5 points a game, number 3 in passing D, Number 6 in red zone TD percentage on D. Can I say any more? Number 5 in third down percentage conversion. The Browns, number 3 in rushing. Number 3 in red zone TD. Are you kidding me? The Steelers, way more experience in the playoffs. Too much going on in Cleveland. I like the Steelers -6. I hope you win. I hope your team advances to the next round of playoffs. Super wild card weekend coming up this week.
Can do. I think in balance.